Hello and welcome back to another episode of The Great Ace Attorney. Last time, we illegally immigrated into a Russian ship at the request of Asugi, who sadly died. We encountered the most famous detective in the world. And he's silly. And now we're trying to prove our innocence. We found a Russian girl who also immigrated. And this time we're going to continue that story. I like how the background changes for each new location we're in. You see, it's the ship this time. I forgot to do test chat. There we go. Let's play. Oh. Oops. Let's play. Continue. The unbreakable speckled band. Investigation 2 is a go. Ninth of January, SS Eau Claire, first class cabins. I can't believe that he threw us out, and I can't believe we didn't manage to learn anything about that speckled band. And being able to fully investigate that cabin didn't help matters either. Most of all, now that sailor is watching us even more closely than he was before. More like he's staring daggers at me. Oh, come to think of it. What's the matter? Where did that great detective of yours run off to? Ah. Now that you mention it, I haven't seen him skulking about for a while now. When did he slip away? He dutifully cuffed me again, then vanished into thin air. What's that? What's even there to examine? Let's try examining Stroganov himself. I really wanted to investigate Nikomina's cabin. Well, now you look like you are really wanting something. Yeah. Are you looking to be thrown out of this cabin again, friend? No. I assure you that's certainly not the case at all. Next time I have to toss you out. You go straight into ocean. Do not forget it. I'll be sure to remember that. One moment, please. I don't think I should be getting anywhere near that door until he forgets what I look like. Don't exactly think he'll be forgetting that anytime soon. True enough. Let's move. Oh. Ship hallway, Asugi's cabin. Well, I have no choice. I have to move to Asugi's cabin. 9th of January, SS Eau Claire, first class cabin. 1. Looks like they're still investigating the scene. That reminds me. I wonder if Detective Hosonaga is still alive. What do you mean by that? Naruto, have you forgotten already? In order to grant you, a prisoner, the opportunity to investigate freely, he said something like, I will give my very life if only to persuade the captain. Oh, you're right, he did say that. I figure the give my very life part was just an exaggeration. Should we go check in with him then? He might have some new information for us. Let's examine again. Let's talk to the sailor. You! Where have you been? Sir, I was over in the next cabin performing an investigation. Who and just who gave you permission to do that? It was a sailor named Hosonaga. New guy? I swear I'll roll him up into a ball and throw him into the freezer to cool down for a while. That did to him for this. When we return home, I'll make sure to order him a beef steak at La Quantos. So now I feel as though we're still a long way from making it back to Japan. Yep, that's true. Oh, there he is! Oh my lord! Welcome back. Detective Hosonaga? Oh my. What's happened to you? Your face looks terrible. Oh yes, please don't be alarmed. Just a few bumps and bruises. Don't think I'd describe that as just a few bumps and bruises at all. As I was reporting to the captain in regards to the permission I gave you to investigate, the crew started to jeer at me for it. Punch him in the face and throw him overboard. What? Soon though, they decided to be content with only the punches, as you can now see. That's all it was though, nothing to be worried about. I guess he wasn't joking around when he said he'd put his life on the line. Thanks to you, we now understand the situation in the neighboring cabin much better. Ah, so I've heard. Huh? Just a little earlier, a man billing himself as a great detective informed me of events. As I recall, I believe he said his name was the Sherlock Holmes or something similar. Knew it, that man is everywhere. Anyway, since we are all here, would you like to compare notes? Yes, a wonderful idea. Okay. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Nikomina Bolshevich is in the cabin right next to us. Oh, you know who she is? For a lover of ballet, it would be impossible not to have heard of that lovely fairy. Man. He got mad at me. Moving on. It seems settled that the adjacent cabin has no relation to the incident. Huh? Why do you say that? Lovely fairy could not possibly do evil. Got mad at me again. Excuse me, but has the investigation on this side made any further advancements? To be perfectly honest, there is not much we are able to do right now. Our hands full ensuring the scenes stay as untouched until the Hong Kong police arrive. We've been told to keep an eye on things and not to lift our watch for even a second. I see. Oh, I almost forgot. I do have one piece of information. Oh. Please tell us anything you can. Okay, let's see the great detective first. Oh, so Mr. Holmes came by again while we were gone. Yes, he seemed content inspecting the floor. In fact, he even crawled about for a bit. But after just a few minutes, he gave up and left. He seemed rather restless and impatient. Hello, Joe! Yeah, it seems so. I agree. He is a more competent gumshoe. It It's gumshoe, by the way. Did that great detective say anything at all? Now that you mention it, he did say one thing, in a very loud, boisterous voice. "This is shoe polish," he announced for all the world to hear. Shoe polish? I wonder what's that all about. I wonder what that's all about. As I recall, he was over there when he said it, around where the broken bell is. Was he referring to those brownish red marks on the floor, detective? Oh yes, that's right. But how did he know it was shoe polish? That's your best typo yet? Well then, congrats. I haven't the foggiest. When I asked it, his reply was so convoluted that Ah! Ooh, that's a mistake. That's a translation. That's a typo. His reply was so convoluted that it made my head spin. That's the correct one. Something wrong, Susato. Come to think of it, Kazuma has been wearing a pair of lace-up brownish red knee-high boots. Brownish red? I remember those boots. It was red so dark they almost seemed black. He often tended to them with a polish that was a color much like red wine. Ah, so then that would make these the marks of Asuki's shoe polish. So polish. What the frick? Okay. Let's go to new information. So what is this new information? Here, see for yourself. This is a report that was written by the ship's doctor after his examination of the corpse. Wow, Hosanaga's left glass is broken too. Besides his eye, I mean. Suki's post-mortem? Kazuma. So, how did he die? The fatal injury should be listed in the report. His neck was broken, it seems. Yes, about that. As I observed before, the victim had no visible external injuries. Initially, it was presumed that the cause of death was poison. However, the doctor's report states that there wasn't a single trace of poison in his body. Then what was the murder weapon? That could not be determined, since there were no external injuries. I fear he may have been bludgeoned with some kind of blunt object that left no wound. I see. The central nervous system connects to the body through the cervical vertebrae. If one received a small blow there, that death without visible injury is not unlikely. Sugi. Here, I made a copy of the post-mortem report. Please feel free to take it with you. Huh? Is that really alright? It will be fine, because I believe in you. If I didn't, I would not have approved of you stepping foot outside this cabin to begin with, right? Ah, that's true. Post-mortem has been filled in the court records. I will read that immediately, so that I don't forget. I'm afraid this is all I can offer to speak about. Alright, thank you so much, Hosonaga. Give me that. Victim, male, Asian. Estimated time of death between 1 and 2 AM. Cause of death, trauma to cervical vertebrae sustained, causing instant death. It can be surmised that his neck was broken due to a severe shock. There are no visible traces of external injury or poisoning. It's the same thing, man. Alright. I have to return to my post soon. I can feel the sailor's eyes boring a hole into my head. I understand. Thank you very much. You seem rather fatigued, sir. Ah, not at all, friends. I failed in my duty to protect Asugi. I owe you this much. Of course, my suffering is trivial compared to what you two must be going through. Moreover, my head's been hurting since this morning. I've been unable to do anything about it. A headache? Come to think of it, I can still feel that dull throbbing pain in the back of my head too. Okay, what to do after this? Let's try and move. Okay, moving was the correct choice. I won't read this again. Why should I read this? Oh! Look, Naruto! Mr. Stroganov is nowhere to be seen. Stroga what? You know, that extremely brawny Russian sailor from before. Why do Russians' names have to be so tough to remember? What in the... I hear the sound of someone's loud and enthusiastic humming nearby. La la la, the greatest detective of all. That ridiculously obnoxious voice sounds rather familiar. When putting aside the singing for a minute, we have a perfect opportunity right here. Yes, let's renew our efforts. We must seize this opportunity to investigate Nikomina's cabin. Right, let's hurry up and get started before that Mr. Stroga something gets back. It's Mr. Stroganov! Okay, move. Oh no, oops. Move Nikomina's cabin. Oh my god! The trunk is open. Doesn't look like Nikomina's returned yet. Susato. Huh? Where did she go? Wait, Susato, you can't just... Time isn't on our side here. We have to investigate when we can. Where we can. Okay, we're doing this for Asugi after all. Not just for Asugi. Huh? It won't be long before we reach the next port, Hong Kong. Are you sure you still want to be wearing those handcuffs when we arrive? Susato! It's up to us, and us alone, to solve this case. Alright, let's do it. Examine the open trunk immediately. Ah, the trunk from earlier is wide open. It's entirely empty, but according to the great detective's deductions, Nikomina had been hiding her friend inside. Yes, and she felt compelled to keep that a secret, because the SS Au Clair doesn't allow animals to be brought abroad, right? What was stuffed into this trunk? And where could it have gone since we were last here? I have an idea where it was gone. Where it is gone. Let's try here. So this air duct is connected to Asugi's cabin, right? Yes, although I still don't really understand why it's built that way. Oh, I have an idea. Maybe it's so that in the unlikely event of a gas leak, the person next door would notice. Doesn't that mean the person in the other room would also be breathing the gas? Oh, you have a point. So Suki saw a speckled band around that vent last night. Now, let's examine the wardrobe. Naruto, are you still here? Yes, I've been here the whole time. Oh, good. I was worried that if I took my eyes off you, you'd go shut yourself in that wardrobe. You think I'm some kind of freak who lives just to jump inside every available wardrobe? From the looks of it, I don't think either of us would fit in there. It's full of beautiful garments. They all look like they're made to be used on stage. Too bad, I was hoping Nikomina's little animal friend might be hiding in here. What do I examine? Yeah, the bookshelves. These books have all fallen over. Not a single one is left standing. It's the same as Asugi's room. Is that the statuette of the guardian god of the sea? It's fallen on its side. Wait a minute, I feel like I've seen something like this before. Remember Asugi's cabin? You think by any chance that Nikomina knocked all these things over when she was practicing her dancing? It's no coincidence. I mean, both bookshelves were in the same state. Would she be really be working on her dancing the first day after she defected? Well then, did you make her lose her temper, causing her to knock everything down in her fury? Like I've been saying, please stop blaming everything that happens on me. Anyway, let me put things back as they were. This would also bother me otherwise. There we go. All clear. There are only a few books on this desk. Well, Nikomina did only just arrive in this cabin last night after all. On that topic, I wonder what kind of books she reads. Good question. Let's take a look here. It's written in Russian. I could have guessed that was so without hearing it from you. But asking me for anything more than that is rather unfair. Through that, let's examine this bin. It's the waste paper bin for this cabin. Shall we take a little peek inside? Naruto! It's not polite to rummage around in other people's bins. She's looking at me like I'm the only waste around here. Well, I suppose we can make an exception considering the circumstances. That's right, the circumstances, of course. There's hardly any rubbish in here at all. Waste paper or otherwise. That is rather disappointing. What's this? There's nothing inside the teapot. Russians are known to drink a lot because their throats are always dry, right? More likely since Nikomina arrived last night she hasn't had time to make any tea yet. I suppose either one could be correct. But I'd bet 2 copper coins that it's because their throats are always dry. Now you're just being stubborn, Naruto. What's about this plate? Someone dropped a dish on the floor. I don't think it fell. It looks like someone placed it there on purpose. Oh, is it really true then? Has the ship sprung a leak here? Huh? You think it's okay? Surely it must be. Surely we're still safe, right? Well, even if there was a small leak, I don't think we'd be in danger of sinking. That makes sense, right? Right? We're going to be just fine! Wow. Okay, what didn't I examine? Coat hangers... Oh, this. This is the same as the one we saw in Asugi's cabin, isn't it? Yes, it's known as a callback. Well, let's give it a quick tug! Oh my god. Seth just grabbed the rope and yanked it at it without any hesitation. Well, it seems nobody came. It's like last time, but I'm sure that everyone's still busy. That's the note. Let's examine the door. You see, this door is also equipped with an iron bolt, just like the one in Asugi's cabin. Once the bolt's locked into place, gaining entrance into the cabin is impossible. This bolt appears to be rather small and light, but it's heavy enough not to slip out of place. And the door is also iron, so you couldn't use a magnet from outside to move the bolt. Moreover, the door is sealed to prevent the entry of seawater during an emergency. As a result, the needle and thread trick couldn't be used on this door either. Again, I can't see why it's not far-fetched to cast suspicion on me for the crime. In the name of the Lord should I expect? The rug, the bed... Okay, let's see. This is the last thing. SS Eclair's ship regulations are also posted here in this cabin. You must store any dangerous goods such as weapons or animals in the cabin. Camilla must have seen this notice before hiding her animal in the trunk. Her friend, as it were. But now her friend has disappeared from the trunk and gone missing. I suppose it might be enjoying a leisurely stroll through the ship. And I pray Mr. Stroganoff doesn't find it and decide to throw it into the sea. That would be pretty bad. Okay. Investigated. What didn't I investigate? Chair, the table. The desk. Wardrobe, the bell, the thing. I've examined everything. Get back. Hold on. Okay, the game wants me to do something for sure. No, the game wants me to do something, for sure. You see? There is something that needs to be done here. I still keep examining that. What do I do here? I've examined everything. The game is simply not letting me advance. Okay. That's weird. Maybe I should go back to Asugi's room. Maybe. Maybe there is something new in Asugi's room. Oh! hold on. These are the words written using that spelled ink. It seems they spell out the word wardrobe in Russian, according to several people fluent in it. That one word points directly to you as the murderer, but you already knew that. If you wanted to finger me as the murderer, why just write Naruhodo in Russian? At any rate, there is one thing I can say for sure. I think it's difficult to imagine that Kazuma would write his final words in Russian at all. But if it wasn't Sugi, then who in the world wrote this? Wait, hold on. This is where Sugi wrote his final journal entry. 1 hour and 23 minutes after midnight. I heard a sound like a low whistle. 1 hour and 35 minutes after midnight. So speckled band in the air duct. When I look at his journal sitting open like that, it's hard to believe he's gone. Kazuma left us a valuable clue. And with it, I'm sure we'll be able to solve this mystery. Right, of course we will. Okay, but I've examined this. Air duct leads into Nikomina's cabin. Yes, that's right. Just before his death, Asugi witnessed something here, yes? Near that air duct, there was a speckled band. Although Nikomina seems to have no idea about anything appearing in the air duct, is that really true? I don't know. I can't afford to let myself forget that I'm still a suspect in this too. Nikomina though, she just has the look of someone who's been caught red-handed. Is that all? All of the books are neatly lined up on the shelf once more. Just a little while ago, everything on this bookshelf was in disarray. But you were the one who went ahead and straightened it all up again, right? Don't even think about knocking anything out of place again. Like I said, it wasn't Asugi or me that threw them all off. I just can't calm down in the presence of a messy bookshelf. Oh, sure you are. Sure you can. This thing again? It's quite a beautiful color, don't you think? From the looks of it, I think that some small object broke right in half. Why is the game making me re-investigate all this? I couldn't find the other half of it anywhere in the cabin though. Aside from that, there is also some dark brownish red marks on the floor here. It appears to be shoe polish, at least according to the great detective over there. Agree with him, it must have been scraped off Kazuma's boots. Well, you can say that, but what makes him so sure that it's specifically shoe polish? That's because he's the great detective after all. What other reasons do you need? Doesn't count as an actual reason. Okay, next. That's the bone, that's... Okay, the shape regulations. It's the same thing, why read it? Nikomina was able to smuggle an animal aboard the ship despite these regulations. I remember that she called it her friend. But the identity of our little friend is still unclear, it could be anything. Perhaps Nikomina is hiding it within the trunk we saw in her cabin. Friend, huh? That sounds suspicious. Okay, let's go back to Nikomina. Anyway. Okay, what didn't I examine? in the name of the Lord didn't I examine? Let's go to the hallway. No. Examine. That's alright. That's okay. Oh! Oh! Look who it is! I didn't even see this guy. I thought he was part of the... I can't believe it. The first time I saw this, I thought he was part of the furniture. Let's talk to Holmes. Ah! That's Mr. Holmes! Wow, you never know when he'll pop up next. He appears to be stealing glances at something between humps. La la la, the greatest detective of all. With Lord Gray staring right at him, he's still singing his heart out. I swear to God, I thought he was part of the furniture. Or the decor. I didn't even notice him. He does seem to be in high spirits. Oh, his name, his wondrous name. Everyone knows it, and area so denies it. Oh, excuse me? Lone yet supreme, yes, his name is Sherlock Holmes! Ah! What? You again? Oh yeah, Sherlock Holmes knows martial arts. Don't disturb people while they're singing. I was just about to reach a crescendo. Hello there! Welcome! Well, you kept building up to your name, but never saying it. So I thought I'd do it for you. We're this close to getting a face full of my prize right hook. Alright, I get it. Can you please put those fists of fury away now? So, Mr. Holmes, we seem to have caught you in the middle of investigating something just now. Oh, thank you. Oh yes, I suppose you mean this. Why, this is a ship's log. That outrageously muscular sailor wrote in it before he left. Ship's log? Is there anything unusual written in it? The contents of last night's entry are practically blank after 2 AM. After 2 AM? Hold on. Okay, good. So in other words, there was nothing out of the ordinary last night. What more could I expect from a Japanese exchange student clad in darkness? Huh? You've got it backwards, my young friend. What do you mean? If you look at some of the other pages, I think you'll understand. It appears that the good sailor's assignment was to keep a close watch on this corridor. The typical regulation is to record nothing unusual in the log every 30 minutes or so. Every 30 minutes or so? Nothing unusual. Needless to say, if nothing of note occurred, nothing unusual will be written here. But as it so happens, the log entry for last night is blank. There are no reports at all. Thank you for not spoiling. Yes, I'm playing this blind and I want to play it blind. Thank you very much. So, could it possibly mean that... I believe that last night the good sailor left his location due to some circumstance. And just what might that circumstance be? Well, I still don't know. I'd wager it must have been quite the circumstance. So much it slipped his mind to write nothing unusual in the ship's log afterwards. Surely this information I found would be worth taking note of. Looks like the self-proclaimed title as the Great Detective at least has some merit. Now it seems you are finally beginning to grasp why I am the famous Mr. Holmes. Ow, 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 ow. Is there something wrong? No, I'm fine. My head has just been rather heavy today. Perhaps one could say it's pounding. Wow, this is the third person who has his head pounding for some reason. Huh? Well then, ladies and gentlemen. May our paths cross again soon. That humming is finally trailing off. What's on your mind, Susato? You seem to be lost in thought. To be honest, mine has been hurting too. Huh? Ever since this morning, my head has felt so heavy for some reason. It's like a constant pounding. So you too then? But didn't I investigate Nikomina's cabin? Alarm! I love this sound. Warning! This is not a drill! A ship has been confirmed 500 yards ahead! We will make a sharp turn to avoid collision! All hands prepare for possible impact! What is happening? Sounds as if our ship is about to collide with another one. What? Oh no, I can't keep my balance. Susato, grab on me! Ah! Susato, are you alright? Are you injured? No, I'm fine, thank you, Naruhodo. It looks like we avoided the collision. The ship! Looks like we've stopped. Naruhodo, are you hurt at all? No, I'm okay. Hello? Is anyone there? In there? Please respond. That voice. It's Detective Hosonaga. Is that you, Naruhodo? Please undo the bolt quickly. The bolt? Oh, look, Naruhodo. The bolt. It's locked. Sato, did you bolt the door? No, I didn't touch it at all. That's strange. How did that happen? Maybe when the ship veered to the right. I mean, or veered to the right. Yeah. I think that it bolted itself. The lock is very slippery. I see. That's strange. How did that happen? And these books. Oh, that's how. I've seen this all before. Alright, I'm going to unbolt the door. I should clean up this mess and put the room back to how it was before. The emergency stop was too flashy to have been simply called a mystery. It was certain that there would be something unpleasant awaiting us beyond the door. I couldn't help but think about that as I slowly began to cleaning up the disheveled room. By the way, Damon, if you're still here, you watched the entire game, right? Just out of curiosity. To be continued with this soon. I will of course continue streaming. I mean, okay, thank you. Let's save here and let's continue. massacrer Nikomina's cabin. The door has somehow been bolted shut during the ship's emergency maneuvers. Sato drew in a deep breath and wordlessly unbolted the latch. Oh, hello there. Filthy rats! What are you doing in Nikomina's cabin? It appears that the both of you are unharmed. Yes, we are. Oh, okay. Is it? I remember, yeah, I remember that Let's Play, yeah. I've watched a bit of it too, but I preferred not to be spoiled. When I found out that the Scarlet Study Group was translating the game. Alright, let's continue. Yes, we are. What exactly just happened? I heard something from the speaking tube about ships colliding. It appears to have been a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? An emergency warning was indeed sounded throughout the entire ship. However, the ship merely made a temporary stop due to low visibility caused by the sea's fog. Ship is mess! Passengers going crazy, and Captain is red with fury. At the moment, only the first class area remains calm. I see. If a false alarm rang out, then there had to have been someone who pushed the button. Eek! You! Dark, shady intruder! Yes? She really put all that into a shriek. You opened trunk without asking! Huh? Oh no, it wasn't us. That's right. The trunk was already open when we came back in. Mr. Detective! Yes? Arrest this man! I'm knowing everything! This man is murderer too, yes? Exactly! And stowaway too! Hurry! Arrest him for trespassing! Murderer, stowaway, trespasser. No end to your trouble, is there? I really can't excuse myself on this one. Chip has solitary cell. You go in isolation. Now! You arrive at Hong Kong tomorrow. Then you arrive in police custody. Isolation? Detective Osanaga, isn't there anything we can do? We are on a Russian ship. I have no authority as an officer of the law here. While I convinced the captain to be lenient before, I fear that will be no longer possible. Will no longer be possible. It's fine. Will no longer be is more correct. Now, I've got to find a way to get out of this bitch. And quickly at that. Uh-oh. There's no escape. Examine... trunk? No, yeah. At times like these, it's best to calm down and carefully observe. My things! Do not touch! Damn you! Why do you want him to be strangled? Ah! There we go. What are you doing? Now it's not the time to snoop around. Friend and foe alike are ganging up against me now. Well then, that was funny. That doesn't matter. I need to find the one person who I know can get me out of this. Oh, we're talking. Stop the Osanaga. You've gotten yourself into some more trouble, I see. Why were you caught trespassing? I'm sorry about that. I was trying to find clues. Well, I've already lost any influence I had. There is nothing I can do. Next time, I'm sure they won't be willing to leave They won't be willing to leave it at a single punch. Detective. And I am to blame for this as well, because I gave you the freedom to move about. I need to report this to the captain immediately. They must be here somewhere. I need to find Savior, someone who can rescue me from this terrible crisis. Let's talk to Nikomina. Excuse me, Nikomina. Get out! Look, I'm sorry for entering your cabin without permission, and do not be coming back again. You just wanted to investigate the murder case. Oh, I can't read Russian, I'm sorry. Looks like I won't be able to ask her anything. But that doesn't matter, I need to find someone who can get me out of this. I agree, Daemon. I agree. Please, just give me a little more time. Do not be stupid. The only thing I will give you is a trip to the brig. So annoying. Don't talk so big because you happen to be big. I'm not guilty of anything. I'm not a murderer. Then you are guilty of stowaway and trespassing. Well, people play many roles in life. Hey! It is time to go. Your cell is ready for you. You must be here somewhere. I need to find the Savior. Okay. Oh, here he is! What? Again, I thought he was furniture. What are you doing over there? Mr. Sherlock Holmes! What the? Hey! Mr. Holmes, you're not in Team Fortress 2. You can't wear a hat over a hat. Hello? Oh, you know, I wanted to feel the weight of 20,000 rubles on my head. But you see, a detective must be able to comprehend anything and everything. I think Holmes is everywhere is going to be a reoccurring joke in this game. I swear there were no shenanigans afoot. Indeed, I would never steal from anyone. He's 34. He's 34. Putting that aside, why were you hanging from the clothes hook on the wall? Ah, that? I simply wanted to experience the profundity of being 20,000 rubles! And to crush that cheeky hook, poking its head out of the wall with a snap. It's no use. I honestly can't figure out what in the world he is talking about. Are you that self-proclaimed great detective? Oh, hello, good detective. I've been looking for all of you, actually. I wish to report some information, if you would be so kind as to allow it. I must be not a great detective, as I have no desire to hang from that wall hook. So what is it? What is this information? When it comes to a great detective's report, there can be only one subject to discuss. Namely, regarding the mysterious murder that occurred on the SS Claire last night. I always say Eclair for some reason. It's as if the L doesn't exist in that word. I've just completely solved it, ladies and gentlemen. Here is my report. Ooh! Another great deduction. Alright. Huh? What? What did you just say? I've brought this matter to its conclusion. There should be no other possibilities. I shall now elucidate the matter for you. Something only a great detective can do. A great detective's great deduction. Time for another dance-off with Sherlock Holmes himself. It's time to tango with him. Ha! Solved! What nonsense is this? We are already knowing identity of culprit. It is that stowaway in handcuffs. No other possibility. It wasn't me! Yet there are no other individuals who could have carried out the murder. After all, the cabin was locked from within by the bolt on the latch. The culprit must have been inside the cabin. There is no other reasonable explanation. It's just like the locked room murders that you see in detective novels, isn't it? She's right! The locked room thing! Locked room? Locked room? They're right. I need some water. Much better. These doors can't possibly be unbolted from the other side, but... I'm sorry to disappoint you all, but that cabin was not a perfect locked room. Huh? There is, in fact, one other entrance to the crime scene. That entrance was the one used by the culprit when the crime was committed. What is this other entrance you speak of? Even now, it lies open before your very eyes. The air duct. The air duct, you say? You can't be serious! You could not even fit an arm into shaft as small as this one? Well, at least not your giant arm. So you're saying the culprit entered the cabin through that tiny shaft? And who exactly would be capable of doing that? As it turns out, last night, the victim himself witnessed the culprit's appearance. Could you be referring to the contents of the journal we found on Kazuma's desk? 1 hour and 23 minutes after midnight, I heard a sound like a low whistle. Yeah, it's time to see if my theory of the last video or last stream was true. Joe, would you be so kind to remind him of my theory? Thank you. 1 hour and 35 minutes after midnight, I saw a speckled band at the air duct. Precisely. What could that speckled band possibly be? The answer to that mystery is hiding somewhere in this very room. Mr. Holmes? What do you mean? Worry not. All will be well. There may be a bit of a ruckus though. Feast your eyes as I unveil something truly mystifying yet intriguing. There! Eek! Ah, that's... There it is! There it is! Elementary, my dear Joe. Elementary. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to the pleasure of introducing the true identity of the fearsome speckled band. That's a snake, isn't it? Yep. Last stream I said that the animal in the trunk was a snake. I was spot on. I swear to God, I didn't even watch anything. It's completely a blind theory. Just so. Huh? Mr. Holmes, may I ask a question? Yes, please, by all means. I'm not sure if you noticed, but I really don't think speckled describes the snake. No matter how I look at it, it's more striped than anything. Yes, that does seem more accurate. of a striped band. Quite a clever observation, however. What if I were to tell you that this very fact is part of the culprit's devious trap? What? You're saying it's a trap? What kind of trap would that be? Allow me to elucidate. The time has come to reveal my findings. Do you understand the possible implications of what I'm about to say, Miss Nikomina? A Japanese man died. Very sad. But that is all. I'm knowing nothing. Nothing at all. Just like last time, I have come to two conclusions. First of all, last night your friend slithered into the victim's cabin. And secondly, your friend took the victim's life. No! Nikomina is turning pale. It looks like his two conclusions have hit the mark again. So this young lady's friend was the one who took Asugi's life. What the... He's panicking. Okay, Stroganov is panicking. Hard. That snake has got him in a vice grip. He can't even speak. Good sailor, I suggest that you remain absolutely still. If you were to enrage that snake and suffer a bite, it would not end well for you. Now, everyone, shall we begin? Come one and all to Sherlock Holmes' theater of logic and reason. Let's do it! Deduction start. The game is afoot. Topic 1. The intruder. Miss Nikomina, you've said this yourself. I am knowing nothing. Nothing at all. However, you are unable to lie yourself. To yourself, I mean. Indubitably, it's only natural to feel the pain in your heart for recalling the events. That very same pain is the evidence of your relation to the victim's death. But, who entered the scene that night, you ask? That would be the friend you carried on board the ship, wouldn't it? No surprise there, your line of sight shifted this time as well. Naturally, your friend is that snake. Nuh-uh. However, if that were the case, one problem presents itself. It was a speckled band that was witnessed by the victims last night. And yes, unfortunately, no matter how you look at it, you cannot call this snake a speckled band. So then, what did the victim see last night? Oh! Do not look! I am knowing nothing about this too! Indubitably, the answer to that question is what you've just tried to hide. Thus, it is that snake skin, without a doubt. So his theory is good, but it's wrong. I know that snakes shed their skins. However, I don't know if a snake shedding its skin changes it completely. I'm not a scientist or someone who studies animals, but I find that rather implausible. Indubitably, after that incident, your friend shed its skin. Isn't that right? What are you talking about? Last night, the snake, covered in speckles, sneaked through the entrance over there. Guided by that cowbell, it slowly slithered down into the room. In the dim light, the victim saw that the victim saw it as a speckled band. Therefore, the identity of your friend who sneaked onto the scene is most unusual snake, capable of changing its appearance by shedding. I wonder if such a snake exists within the realms of India. Conclusion. Speckled snake. Fatal injury. Topic 2. Next, let's get into the core matter of his death. How and why was the victim's life robbed from him? From the information I have, the corpse did not show a single trace of external injury. Indubitably, the truth behind the victim's death lies in this deadly poison. No, that's wrong. That's completely wrong. I have the post-mortem here. And so, if that is indeed the truth, it is possible that the crime scene still contains hints about the murder. You lie! Indubitably, examining the corpse will let us prove the cause of death. There should be a small, near invisible trace of a poisonous fang on the victim's body. The trace of your friend, the terrible venomous snake's bite. He's not venomous, he's his constrictor. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Nikomina, it is pointless to feign ignorance. After the incident, you made sure to hide everything, correct? Indubitably, your line of sight leads straight to the location of concealment. Evidence of this terrible murder is hidden within your trunk. Okay, I don't think... okay. Because of this line of deduction, I don't think her friend was a snake. I think that snake was random. When we first entered this cabin, that trunk moved. The murder weapon, the snake, happened to rattle about at that moment, correct? No! By the way, the victim had heard a soft sound akin to a whistle before the incident. That is the signal you blew in order to manipulate your snake. Manipulate? You let your snake loose into the that air duct and called it back after a set period of time. It was unknown to you if the bite landed, so you decided to investigate the room. The victim was still alive, you planned to just send out that snake again. And this, I'd imagine, was just what the snake was trained to do. You are wrong! Guided by the cowbell from the entrance, it took one little bite with its venomous fangs. That venom ran throughout the victim's body, snuffing out his life's ember for all eternity. Again, it's not poison, it's... That is precisely the true identity of the speckled band which robbed the victim's life. I can only hope that my deduction is incorrect. And which it is. We will prove that. Venomous snake bite. Fatal injury. And there you have it. The great deductions of Sherlock Holmes have been revealed. And time to destroy them again. It's time to tango with him. Miss Nikomina had been training the snake to be used as a weapon. Over there is a milk saucer. I surmise the milk was the treat used to assist with the training. Wow! This time the mystery is solved for sure. Good heavens, that was a brilliant great deduction. This truly is the great detective Sherlock Holmes. Oh please, this is but the first step. It certainly helped to at least stave off my boredom, however. Susato isn't having none of it. Excuse me? Moment please, Mr. Holmes? Yes, of course, tell me what's on your mind. There's one thing I'm just a smidge curious about regarding that deduction. Ah yes, questions are certainly welcome. I'd be glad to answer them firmly and precisely. Thank you. First, snakes are born from eggs, therefore they are classified as reptiles. I see. You know your stuff. Reptiles do not drink milk. Huh? The only animals that would willingly drink milk are mammals. I do not think that one could train a snake with milk. Ah yes, then surely she trained it using a different treat. Make it just an example. This problem is not important to the investigation. Oh, but it is, trust me. That snake do not have ears. Huh? Therefore, I do not think it would be possible to manipulate the creature with a whistle. However, you know those stories. There is talk of snakes that twirl and dance to flutes in the land of Arabia. The flute is played to match the movement of the snake, not the other way around. Is that so? No arms, legs, or ears. Just how simple of a creature are you, snake? Please don't take out your frustration on the snake. Or you'll get pancaked into submission. So, may I move to my next point? There is more? The snake uses the scales of its stomach to move. It would be impossible for it to descend using something as flat as this bell rope. But why? Getting mad at me won't change how reality is anyway. Even if you send a snake through the air duct, it cannot return by itself. Therefore, no matter how you look at it, it would be very difficult for a snake to commit this crime. Oops! Wow, she shot him down. Hard! It's Susato who shot him down, not me. It's time for me to shoot him down as well. Now we've identified the issues. It's time to do it again, Naruhodo. By do it, do you mean... Yes, it's time to turn that deduction into a great deduction. Should have expected it would come to this. Understood. Let's do this. That's just what I wanted to hear, Master Naruhodo. Yeah. Take a look at your hands this time as well. My hands, sir? And you're free. Let's dance with him. Again? Handcuffs are gone! When did... Like before, there's no need to worry. You can have them back when we're finished. Trust me, I'm not very worried about it. Now, everyone, shall we begin? Come on, come one and all. Sherlock Holmes' Theatre of Logic and Reason. Review start. Hold it, Mr. Holmes. Okay, let's keep going. Miss Nikomina, you said... okay. I will not read this again, okay? Okay, here it is. Nikomina really does look like she's in a great deal of pain. Yes, indeed. She appears to feel guilty, truly guilty about Kazuma's death. Considering her obvious confusion at what Mr. Holmes was saying, there is most likely a different meaning to her facial expression. Well then, let's make sure we thoroughly inspect Nikomina. it's her head. It has to be her head. Everyone was feeling a pain in her head. Left ear. Hold on. Oh, there it is. There it is. Hi. Shatter. Indubitably, I said too, it's only natural to feel pain in your clone upon recalling the events. No doubt, from the looks of it, the wound is still fresh. Nikomina, could it be that your claw wound was inflicted last night? Oh! I'm regretting that man has died, and I am regretting this wound hurts. The very same pain is the evidence of your relationship. Nah, it's not the snake. Regarding that claw wound, it must have been a wound caused by her friend, right? But snakes don't have claws, do they? Right. To begin with, they don't even have any hands for claws to grow from. If that's the case, just what could the true identity of her friend be? And now is the thing. If you look towards where Nikomina unconsciously directed her gaze, I'm sure we'll find the answer. Oh, there it is. It's a cat! As you said, Joe. Yesterday, you said it was a cat. So yeah, this is a photograph. Must be something Nikomina brought on board with her. Nikomina truly is quite beautiful. That's definitely true, but if you ask me, I'm more interested in this little black one over here. I should take a closer look at this photograph. It's a kitten, even! Let's present this. Hi! Shatter! Naturally, your friend is that kitten. Right, one look at that claw wound and it becomes painfully clear. I agree. Huh. Black kitten. I don't know where it is right now, but you brought it along as you sought asylum, correct? Blackie is my friend. Cannot leave behind. So the kitten's name is Blackie. However, if that's the case, then one problem presents itself. It was a speckled band that... Okay. However, there it is. No matter how you look at it, this kitten looks nothing like a speckled band. So then, what did the victim see last night? Do not look! I'm knowing nothing about this too! That is plausible, Joe. Very plausible. But I don't think so. Indubitably, the answer to the question is what you just try to hide. Thus, it is that snakeskin, without a doubt. Now, Nikomina, she took out what was in her pocket and hid it behind her back without thinking. If she had kept it in her pocket, she would have gotten away with it. I would expect no less from Holmes' forte, his bluffs. Shouldn't the great detective forte be his deductions? At any rate, it is difficult to believe that it would be cast-off snakeskin. And what on earth could it be? What is Nikomina trying to hide? not snakeskin. Oh, there it is! It's the other hand. Let's see. Here. No. What should I point then? Examine that snakeskin. It certainly is both speckled and band-like, but what exactly is this? Soft and fluffy and made out of a long piece of cloth. And there is a handle attached to the very end of it. This must be a Western cat teaser! Cat teaser? This toy meant for cats to play with. Kittens are especially fond to them. If you wiggle it in front of them, they are bound to jump for it. That sounds really adorable. Changed to cat toy. Now we present it. There we go. Shatter! Thus, it's that cat toy without a doubt. Yes, in other words, that would be the true identity of the speckled band. Ah! You dangled that toy through the air duct, correct? You must have swung it quite fiercely. It's no surprise the victim caught sight of it. However, why would she do such a thing? That goes without saying. She hoped to use the toy, waving quietly, to catch her kitten's attention. Then, bewitched by the tantalizing toy, the kitty runs home and jumps into her arms. Ow. Indubitably, the identity of her friend that stole into the scene is none other than a tricky kitten, Little Blackie. Eek. What a truly troublesome cat. If I ever catch sight of it, I'll catch it for you. I'll borrow that photograph of Blackie for a bit. There it is. Last night I gave Blackie meal. Then Blackie scratched my hand. Then ran to call Bell. Before I could move, vanished into air duct. Blackie is bad kitty. Alright. 1 out of 2. Next, the fatal injury. Here it is. Mr. Holmes must be right. It is true that Kazuma did not have any external wounds. Yes, but it looks like there's some information that Mr. Holmes isn't aware of. So he didn't die from poison. That certainly appears to be the case. Let's tell him about that information. Okay. Give him the post-mortem immediately. Shatter! Indubitably, the truth behind the victim's death lies in this post-mortem. I just knew it had to be one or the other. His neck? The only person who could live with a broken neck would be that sailor over there. No, I'm pretty sure Mr. Stroganoff is human too. Anyway, the victim had his neck broken. If that is indeed a fact, it is possible that the crime scene still contains hints about the murder. You'll die! Indubitably, examining the corpse will let us prove the cause of death. No. Sugi died from a broken neck. I suppose that means he would have to have been struck. It certainly is possible, however, as of yet, we still have not found any potential weapons. It's unlikely that the trespassing kitten struck him. Perhaps he had toppled over and took an unlucky fall. If unfortunate enough, that could very well have broken his neck. You might be right, toppled over, huh? However, this is Kazuma we're talking about. It is difficult to believe that he could have been so clumsy. Regardless, we have to make the right change. So where could the remaining trace of Asugi's death be? Okay, what to present here? What to present here? Examining the what? Examining the what? Oh no, the post-mortem again? Let's see. Shoe polish. Examining it's the crime scene photo, the floor markings, the post-mortem. It has to be the post-mortem again, but I don't think so. The ship's log? Nah, impossible. Okay, let's present this. Hi! No, it didn't shatter. That logic was so controversial that even I am left tilting my head in utter confusion. Honestly, I utterly confused myself when I blurted that out. Let's return our heads to their rightful orientations and discuss this logic anew. Sorry about that. I'll think about it more carefully. Ouch. Okay, let's try again. So we know that either he was struck by someone or he lost his footing. If I recall correctly, we found some questionable traces in Kazuma's cabin. I believe we recorded it as evidence during our... Yeah, it is the marking. There it is. Thank you for the hint, Susado. Thank you for the hint. It is the floor markings. Hi! And shatter! Indubitably, examining the floor markings will let us prove the cause of death. There really were traces left over, traces of shoe polish on the floor. Shoe polish? I examined it with my homemade analysis machine that I carry around for fun. Beeswax, tallow and dye. The composition matches that of a shoe polish perfectly. Furthermore, the color of the shoe polish is the same as Asugi's leather boots. By looking at these traces, you can accurately guess what had happened. It's likely that something caused him to lose his footing and tumble over. No! He must have then unfortunately suffered a severe impact to his neck as he fell to the floor. The instant the victim took the fatal injury to the cervical vertebrae, he took his last breath. No! I am knowing nothing! Nothing at all! Is that really true? When the victim perished, a certain piece of evidence remained on the scene. Indeed. Now then, you must have desperately tried to hide that damning piece of evidence, didn't you? Indubitably, your line of sight leads straight to the location of concealment. Evidence of this terrible murder is hidden within your trunk. Nuh-uh. The trunk is empty completely. No! Someone died because he tripped over and fell, is that all? That must be a lie. I refuse to believe such a thing. There is no denying that the traces of the floor show exactly that. Well, yes, but according to Mr. Holmes' theory, Nicomina tried to hide any evidence of the incident. It lies in this cabin, directly in Nicomina's line of sight. So where did Nicomina hide it? Let's investigate this thoroughly. The answer must be here. Let's see. Tiara. Let's examine the bin. This is the cabin's waste paper bin. Nicomina's only boarded just last night, so I doubt there must be much rubbish piled in there. There it is! Wait, this is? Piece of glass? I can't quite put my finger on it, but I feel like I've seen this somewhere before. I don't think it's just your imagination. There it is. Present. Shatter! The evidence that you took the wait. No, that's incorrect wording. The evidence that you took the victim's life is hidden within your waste paper bin. It's not incorrect wording, it's me who read the sentence incorrectly at the first time. Oops, my bad. I've seen this beautiful piece of glass somewhere before. Indubitably. Take this fragment that was found on the floor of Azuki's cabin and... like so, it fits perfectly. Come now, Miss Nicomina, would you kindly explain yourself? Why is it that a piece of the broken glass is found at the scene of the crime? In your cabin's waste paper bin. I'm sure you're familiar with this glass valve. That is... the trademark I am knowing nothing won't work here. If you're wondering why, there is decisive evidence that proves your connection to it. Huh? Isn't that right, Master Naruhodo? Yes. This is the piece of evidence that links Nicomina to the glass bell. Yeah, her photo. It's her cat's bell. Present that. It's clearly depicted in this photograph, hanging from Blackie's neck. Is none other than that very same glass bell. Miss Nicomina, you can no longer run. The victim fell onto the cabin floor and lost his life in a terrible twist of fate. And that fated fall had something to do with your friend, Blackie. She knew he was dead. No matter what, I could not say this. Sorry. There it is. Tripped over kitten. He tripped over the cat. Wow. That's kinda embarrassing. Deduction complete. Elementary. Nicomina, please, we need you to tell us. What exactly happened last night? It was last night, hour after midnight. When I gave Blackie meal, he went mad and ran away from me. I have heard that cats become very nervous when placed in a new environment. Kitty disappeared into air duct, then... So it was then that your hand was scratched. Yes. I know ship regulations. Cannot bring Kitty on ship. Animals carry pathogens that can spread diseases. It's too frightening to allow. So I listened to cabin next door. Was very quiet, probably sleeping, I think. So you tried to call back the kitten in secret, didn't you? You tried waving Blackie's cat toy through that air duct. It always brings back Blackie back, but... I use toy, I whistle, but Blackie does not return. So that low whistle Asuki heard was meant to call back the kitten. I hear that kitty cats will hide under cover and refuse to come out if they're afraid. Had no choice but to wait for Kitty to calm down. Then... Puff! There it is. I thought heart stopped. Suddenly I heard loud voice, then a huge sound, and then heard nothing else. Sugi. Judging from the marks left on the floor of the crime scene, the victim most likely stepped on the glass bell when he lost his footing. Although the Eau Claire may be a colossal ship, it can swing around with incredible force. It could be that, as he was falling, a nervous kitten had wrapped itself around his feet. As these continuous unfortunate incidents piled up, he could do little to prevent his fall. In any case, what happened with the kitten afterwards? Later he responded to my calls and returned from air duct. However, little Blackie is nowhere to be seen right now. Forgot to lock that trunk. Kitty wandered off again. Good grief, that kitty cat is as restless as I am. So he's aware that he is restless. That was funny. Okay. Morning came, I hear that man next door is dead. But I could not say this. If people know the truth about me, I have to go back. That scares me. Well, if that's all true, then what about the snake? Oh, that's right. If that isn't Nikomina's friend, then why? Why is there such an extremely dangerous animal aboard this ship? It's Stroganoff. It's Stroganoff's. Oh my god, Stroganoff's pet. Oh, forgot to mention, this snake is friend, you see. Name is Piroshko. One moment, please. I need to do something. Okay? I need to do something. Please hold on. Okay, I'm back. So, yeah, I know what piroshki is, but I know piroshki as a word, but I didn't know what it was. I googled piroshki. Piroshki is some sort of Russian cream puff. So, pancake and cream puff are very close, huh? That's why I googled. It was too funny of a coincidence. What? What? You're saying that's your snake? It escaped from cage during alarm ruckus earlier. I was looking for it. But it was here all along? Ha! Just how did it escape in the first place? However, isn't it forbidden to carry animals aboard this ship? Oh! We are sailing together for over a year now, yes? Such good friends cannot be teared apart. I wonder if he has any other friends. Real friends, anyway. Look here, Mr. Sailor. It's a big venomous snake of all things. Who would like that sort of thing? It is not venomous. What? See Piroshko here? It's long but harmless to man or animal. What an adorable friend. Harmless? He's just grumpy from hunger right now. Give food to bring back cuteness. In Soviet Russia, snake cutes you. No, that was very wrong and embarrassing. That was so embarrassing. Someone ought to say something different. Anyhow, let's continue. By food do you mean things like milk and such? Ha! Such a snake exists only in fairy tales. Piroshko love mice. Round fat mice. So correct me if I'm wrong, but that mouse trap along the cabin corridor is... Yes, it is trapped to catch Piroshko's favorite food. Wow, the circle of life is pretty harsh. Holmes. Doesn't drink milk. Hear whistles, climb, call bells, or even inject venoms. Okay. Sherlock Holmes is in disbelief right now. Indeed, one could say, the fellow doesn't have a legs to stand on. Who the hell cares? Do not yell at me again. Anyway, Piroshko had nothing to do with the incident. So this is the truth behind Asugi's death. Yep. This is indeed the truth. Wow, that was very sad. He died accidentally. Nikomina Bolshevich. Huh? I understand that the position you have been put is rough, and I sympathize with you. However, that said, should you take a man's life and lie in hopes of escaping your final punishment, you would be purely despicable, no matter how dire your circumstances may be. Huh? What are you trying to say? Hasn't all of the mystery just been clearly unraveled before us? Everything was hinged on an unfortunate off-chance accident. Oh yeah, even Holmes isn't buying it. I'm not able to see things as well as Mr. Holmes can. But I know for a fact this cannot be the truth. What do you think, Naruhodo? I can't believe it. Honestly, I had the same feeling. There's something out of place in Nikomina's words. Let me be honest. I had thought to leave everything after this to Scotland Yard. What? There is only one reason why I am investigating this incident. Simply because I couldn't bear to look at you, Master Naruhodo. Huh? You mean me? Those cuffs binding your hands simply bothered me to no end. Wow! He put them back! Ah! Again, when did he do that? I felt almost as if I had placed those handcuffs on you myself, you see? You did. In any case, I thought to do something about it before the ship docks in Hong Kong. Mr. Holmes. However, there was one thing that slipped my mind. The departed victim was a very dear friend to both of you. That's the truth, isn't it? Yes. Sugi was my best friend. He was the man who saved me. Then, the truth that lies beyond this point should be sought by your very own eyes. My own eyes? That odd feeling I got from Nikomina's words. Perhaps if I pursue it, I might be able to find the truth. The true story behind your death will finally come to light. Understand? I'll give it a shot. That's the spirit. Naruto? Now, shall we begin, Master Naruto? Yes, sir! Well then, let's start with the first issue. The victim's corpse within the locked cabin. Was that really the result of an accident? Or perhaps it was not an accident at all? We should make this clear first. Well, as I was just saying, the kitten went through the air duct and caused his fall. It was clearly an accident. Wait, this isn't right. That line of thought is obviously flawed. Might I beg an explanation? That's right, it's slowly becoming clearer. The contradiction behind Asugi's death is glaringly obvious. Simply put, Asugi's cabin holds decisive evidence to the contrary. That was not a mere accident. What did you say? In that case, show me your so-called evidence. Show me the evidence that proves the death of the victim was not just an accident. It has to be this. I mean, it has to be this. It's clearly shown in this photograph. It would have been impossible for Asugi to write that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that writing is in Russian, isn't it? Precisely, it means wardrobe. It would have been natural if his dying message was in Japanese, however. What if he learned Russian? Russian is easy. Surprisingly easy. I kind of doubt that. But whatever the case, it doesn't matter. What do you mean? As I said before, it was impossible for Asugi to have left that message. The reason for that is clearly written here. Instant death from trauma to the cervical vertebrae. Instant death. Ah! In other words, he could not have written those words after falling to the floor. After all, he was already dead. Say it, Joe. Come on, I know you want to say it. That's not all. I recall one other issue regarding Kazuma's cabin. No matter how you look at it, the traces at the scene contradicts an accidental death. There we go. Really? I had to notice it too. It's still something that strikes me as odd, even putting aside the Russian message. That's the piece of evidence that proves it wasn't just an accident. markings. I mean, it's the only thing. There we go. It's these marks on the floor here. But couldn't those be left behind by the glass bell that was split in two? Something that could have happened when the victim was falling over. Yes, that's right. If you think of it that way, there shouldn't be any problem. Unfortunately, there is one fatal flaw in your reasoning. What? If it was really the case, then answer me this. Why was the other half of the broken bell found in another cabin? Ah! The other half of the glass bell was found in this waste paper bin. It is as... I think it is as Damon Gant said, the cat did nothing wrong. And you offer us an explanation, Nikomina. Thus the truth revealed by these two pieces of evidence can only be as follows. When Sugi died, he was not alone. Another person was in the cabin. Furthermore, that person tampered with the scene of the crime. All to escape from the crime they committed. When the incident occurred, there was another person present at the scene. What the? Ha! Rubbish! Another person, you say? We already knew. What do you mean, sir? You are forgetting stowaway in cabin. Ah. The exchange student died, another person was you! Indeed, I was present in the cabin during that time. To be more precise, he was stuffed inside the that cabin's wardrobe. But if I was the culprit, how could you explain the Russian message left behind? To be more precise, it's not that you didn't write it, but more like you couldn't. Excuse me, could you please shut up for a moment? Well, pardon me. Anyway. The culprit wrote wardrobe on the floor in Russian. All in order to frame me, soundly asleep inside the wardrobe for this crime. Furthermore, they retrieved a piece of the glass bell lying on the floor. They removed it from the scene because it would become evidence of Kazuma's murder. But if that were true, there would be no point unless all the fragments were discarded. Half of it was left at the scene. Do you not find that strange? Well, crime occurred a little past 1 AM. The cabin's interior must have been rather dark. Light was provided by one small lamp. Little of it must have reached the floorboards. It wouldn't be unimaginable for the killer to have overlooked some glass. Everyone suspecting me. Whoa. Mr. Stroganov. This girl was originally daughter of Seaman. 2 years ago, scouted for talent and sold to ballet group. Until then, this ship was her stage. She danced with man for sailors. No more accusations against our ship's delicate ferry. Never could have imagined. When exchange student died, you think girl was in cabin too? It's not possible! No chance in hell ever! How intriguing. Why are you able to declare that with just such conviction? Ha! You do not already know, great detective? Door to cabin was locked from within. Nikomina is not only one with alibi, it's also true for everyone else. entering cabin would be impossible. Ah, he's right. But now that you mention it, I have read of such a thing in mystery novels before. Moments like these, a needle and thread could be used to open the door from outside. Needle and thread? Ridiculous! Doors in the ship were built strong, cannot be opened by flimsy thread and needle. What you say is fact. This door. Sorry about that. This door of a steamship. This is the door of a steamship, after all. In order to keep water out, it is made of heavy iron. Not even magnets would work. That's what I thought. It was simply because Naruhodo had spoken of this earlier. What do you mean? Then, as I initially presumed, unlatching the door from the outside is impossible. But it's not impossible by any stretch of the imagination. What are you saying? Allow me to say this. If you were to leave that door to me, I could latch it shut without ever so much as touching it once. And right now, this cabin holds a trace of that very method. Are you serious? How about you, Master Naruhodo? Don't you also know of such a method? A method of latching the cabin door shut from the outside? Indeed, you're right. I can think of one way. Is that true, Naruhodo? Yes, after all, we both witnessed it. Well then, would you kindly point that out for us, Master Naruhodo? What is the proof that suggests the door was locked from the outside? Ah! The books! Hi! Please take a look at that bookshelf. Various books and trinkets are scattered all over the place. It's likely that they fell down during the emergency stop earlier. Yes, there is no mistake about that, considering how massive the ship is. Tremendous force would travel throughout the ship's interior if it were to stop abruptly. As such, it would be only natural that a couple of small items would topple over. If I recall correctly, this force is also known as inertia. As usual, Susato sure knows about some complicated stuff. And when that force toppled over the bookshelf, there was one more thing that moved within this cabin. And that would be the latch on the door. What? After that emergency stop earlier, I understood everything. At that time, none of us had latched the door. Despite that... Hello? Is anyone there? Please respond. That voice. Oh yeah, it's Osunaga. It's Detective Osunaga. Ah! That's right. When the ship stopped, the door had latched shut. This door's latch may be made of metal, but it is small and lightweight. Due to the earlier mentioned force, inertia, it had moved from its place. Would you be implying that last night, after the incident had occurred, yeah, the ship rocked. And the door was closed. There we go. Easy as butter. This ship, the SS Eau Claire, pulled it over for an emergency stop. When I woke up this morning, I couldn't help but feel that something was off. Books and trinkets on the bookshelf had all fallen over. It was as if a whirlwind had swept through the room. It looked just like it does right now. Well, now that you mention it, the items certainly were scattered about. Everything is neatly put back together by now. That's why after I entered this room I was very surprised. All the books and ornaments had fallen over in the exact same way as Asugi's room. Ah! What do you say to that, Nikomina? SSL Claire stopped! Ridiculous! He's right. Stopping the ship is no simple task. Are you implying that the culprit is one of the ship's engineers? Oh, come now. The matter is nothing that complicated, my fellow. What? It's even on the walls of the corridor. Check out the emergency alarm. Yep, someone pressed the alarm. Yes, that is true. In the event of an emergency, this button is to be pushed. It's clearly written in the hallway. During dense foggy nights, those on lookout cannot ensure safety with their eyes alone. Such buttons are installed on the ship to allow the crew to issue emergency warnings. Such a fascinating button just begs to be pushed, at least once or twice. There you go. When that button is pressed, an emergency alarm is rung. It causes the ship to come to a complete stop and alert everyone on the ship of the situation. Just like earlier. Excuse me? Could it be that you? It is my belief that buttons exist for the sole purpose of being pushed. Holmes, I am so going to punch you right now. Holmes, I'm so going to punch you right now. I'm afraid that my screen will break if I do, though. Okay. At any time and in any way. This great detective certainly doesn't know the meaning of the word fear. You rat! What are you? Who are you thinking you are? I will report this to the captain. Be ready for punishment. Calm down, my friend. Why don't we postpone that to a later time? Anyway, with the alarm raised, I was able to confirm something. If this ship was to make an emergency stop, the cabin's latches would lock themselves. And so, there is but one question to ponder next. That would be, of course, last night after Kazuma's incident. Did this ship make an emergency stop? It's not that simple! Giant steamship cannot just make emergency stop! Such a huge incident would wake everyone from their beds! What do you think, Master Naruhodo? It could be that last night there was some kind of emergency stop made by this ship. And I might be able to prove that it happened at the very least. What? Does such evidence truly exist, Naruhodo? That is highly interesting. Please show it to us, by all means. What is the evidence that suggests that this ship made an emergency stop last night? The log. Definitely the log. Wait, hold on. The log? Really? The log? I don't know. Wait. Nikomina just arrived last night. But to how and when? Okay. Let's present the log and see, because I don't know. Hi! Mr. Stroganoff! There it is. You were on security lookout for the first class cabin area, correct? Oh, I mean yes. What about it? The ship's log is a record of that lookout, correct? Ah! That is mine! Ah yes, it looked like you accidentally forgot about it and left it on the desk. So I took responsibility of taking it into my custody in order to bring it back to you. It was not accident. I left it on purpose. In any case, if you take a look through this record, the regular 30-minute intervals, nothing unusual is written within the log. However, starting from 2 AM, there are no records written at all. None at all? That is just, well, obviously was nothing unusual. If there was nothing unusual, then nothing unusual should have been written. Ah! Indubitably. In other words, after 2 AM, on board the Eau Claire, something had happened. Something important enough to cause someone to even forget the ever so important ship's log. And that would be the emergency stop? Do not be making such ridiculous assumptions. To be honest, I also seem to have trouble believing that such a thing could have happened. Why is that? Well, just think about it. Consider the magnitude of such an incident. No matter the circumstances, certainly we would have noticed it. That is true. However, after all, we just had a taste of that emergency stop ourselves. Such an incredible alarm and such an incredible heave. No matter how deep in sleep we could have been, we would have woken up from that. Well, you certainly have a point there. Have you all noticed the throbbing as well? What? What could you be referring to? Your heads. For some reason, even ever since this morning, my head has just been killing me. Ah! Now that you mention it. I have not been feeling the best for whatever reason, ever since this morning. I haven't either. My head has been feeling heavy all morning, as I had suspected. It's been much the same for everyone. That's right, now I think about it. It's been the same for me as well. After eating dinner last night, I ended up feeling drowsy all of a sudden. Oh! The dinner had sleeping drug. That's my conclusion. I somehow made it to the wardrobe, but I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up this morning, the first thing I felt was that throbbing pain in my head. By the time I came to my senses, I was dragged out of the wardrobe and with both hands cuffed. There was no way I wouldn't have woken up around something like that. Oh, by the way, Master Naruhodo, you are the impudent stowaway who boarded this ship, correct? Yes, much to my shame. Stowaway shouldn't have been receiving meals. How did you come about your meal? Oh, that's... well, you know... Tsugi shared just a bit of his meal with me. If memory serves, the meal last night was roast chicken. Oh, come to think of it, I ate all of it last night, and Tsugi wasn't a big fan of chicken. And so, the victim did not eat a single bite of the chicken. That's right! But why is that important? After relaying that information yourself, have you not come to realize anything? Ah! Might you be saying that the chicken was abnormal? Exactly. Oh, so that's what it was. The food provided by this ship last night was tampered with. When eaten, you would be lulled into a sweet sleep. That kind of tampering. Sleeping drugs, you mean? In that case, in order to put the ship into an emergency stop, the culprit put sleeping drugs in all the food. Naruto, I do think that is too impossible of a task to pull off. Exactly. It is impossible to drug all of the food on the ship, assuming that the entire crew was not cooperating together on the matter, that is. Whoa! What are your thoughts, good sailor? Huh? I am of the opinion that it would be difficult to cover up this matter any further. If you do not wish to talk, then I will request an official investigation of this ship. If it were to come to that, I imagine that you sailors and your captain would all be punished. Punished under the crime of assisting a defection. That is enough! I will tell everything! What? I do not want to trouble sailors. At one point you were all comrades who traveled together, right? That is why I asked them to help when I ran away. All sailors wanted to help. Help princess who abandoned her motherland and her ballet troupe. How in heavens could this be? As you say, last night's chicken was drugged, heavily. Now that I think about it, there were some bitter lumps mixed in. Ah yes, sleeping drugs probably not dissolve all the way. What kind of seasoning is that? Around midnight, Princess boarded up ship in agreed on area in open ocean. Smugglers bring her on small fishing boat. And we, the passengers, remained sound asleep, blissfully unaware of what was occurring. Thanks to the sweet magic spell cast on the delicious chicken. Then, the people who were awake on this ship last night were the entire ship's crew, as well as those who held a deep-rooted hatred of chicken, and the new passenger on the ship, Nikomina. In other words, it would have been possible for you to utilize the inertia from the ship's emergency stop to shut the door. But if the events had indeed panned out as you claim, wouldn't all the latches on the ship lock causing a huge commotion? No, I don't think so. What? Oh, I get it. Last night we had our meals. We all had our meals within our respective cabins. And then we were all overcome with incredible drowsiness and went to sleep. Consequently, all the passengers were in their own cabin. Ah! Nothing would be out of place if they woke to find the latch on their cabin door shut. And that is why not a single soul noticed anything unusual. In other words, for the sake of shutting merely one latch on the ship, the culprit forced the SS All Clear to make an emergency stop. You talk on and on about this, but what is your point? It is just as you have heard. There is no doubt that there was a third party present at the crime scene. For the purpose of framing someone else, they left a message in Russian on the floor. They desperately hid the pieces of glass that could serve as evidence. And to top it all off, they put the ship in an emergency stop to let the scene's door shut. I must say it was a job well done. But I'm knowing nothing about any of that. Keep Keep going with your funny jargon and big words if you want. But we sailors are not caring about your fancy logic games. We do not believe until we are seeing with our own eyes. It's quite the fine maxim you have there. Huh? In truth, I am of the same belief. What is seen by one's own eyes is everything. Master Naruto. Yes? Hold on, please. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay. Can you hear it? Cries of confession reverberate throughout the ship. Cries of confession? I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't have any idea what you... Proof of the crime. It is not the ears that hear that voiceless voice. Rather, it is none other than the eyes. It all stems from observation. You still make no sense. What is your point? Now let's begin, this time once and for all. For the sake of reaching the final truth, we'll begin the theater of logic and reason again? Now, with that said, it's a pleasure to be working with you, Master Naruto. Mr. Holmes, what on earth is this? Just as I've said, we are to observe them. Observe them? The moment when Kazuma passed away, some individual had tampered with various things at the crime scene. And we are to locate the trace of that happening, correct? Exactly. You catch on quickly. I got it. I'll give it a shot. I'll point out the traces of the third party present at the scene of the crime. Traces, 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 traces. Traces, 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 traces. Ah, there it is. Hi! Shattered! Mr. Stroganoff, you have a purple stain on your white uniform. Ah? Oh, must be smudged from somewhere. Would you happen to know anything about that stain? What are you saying? At this moment, we are still unable to pinpoint the significance of that stain. How about you go ahead and clear that up? Purple stain clinging on Mr. Stroganoff's uniform. I believe it is obvious what its true identity is. Exactly. Well then, kindly present that piece of evidence if you would. Yes, sir. Those traces left on Mr. Stroganoff's uniform, the evidence that points towards their true nature is purple ink. But I don't have purple ink, so I have to present the crime scene photo here. Hi! Shattered! The true identity of that stain is ink! Ink, you say? Purple ink, the most uncommon color. Oh! Seem to have realized the meaning behind that. The Russian words on the floor of the scene were written with purple ink. It's the exact same color as the stain on your uniform. If the ink had dried, then it would have been impossible for it to stain. Therefore, immediately following the event of that ink spill, you were present in this cabin. Fine, I talk. I tell you everything I did. First, I tamper with evidence in that exchange student's cabin and shot latch using ship's emergency stop. How to divert suspicion away from Princess. Mitrov. It's okay, Princess. I do the talking. was around 1 AM. I had been keeping watch on that corridor. Princess, face pale with fear, ran over to me. Petrov, help, please! When we reached cabin, door was open. One look into cabin and I saw a student collapsed onto floor. What the hell happened here? Don't tell anyone! My friend! Princess told the truth. What happened in cabin is exactly what she said. The kitten ran into Asugi's cabin through the air duct. Asugi then tumbled over that kitten around his feet, ending his life. Yeah, exactly. And following that, Miss Nikomina had visited the cabin next door, correct? It was there that she found the victim's corpse. I surmise that would be the case. Yeah, she heard fall, so she went to look. Right, Princess? Cabin door was not latched shut. Princess could tell in single glance what had happened in that room. I have one thing that I would like to confirm. What is it? By the time you had visited Kazuma's cabin, Nikomina, Kazuma had already passed. Is that correct? Huh? Yes, that is what I said. When Princess peeked into cabin, exchange student was... I am asking Nikomina. There we go. Nikomina, your answer? Da! Oh. Yes, it is right. I looked inside cabin, man in black on floor, not moving. Got so scared. I understand. I will believe those words. This time for sure. That must be the truth behind Asugi's death. Oh yes, that reminds me, there's something I forgot. Mr. Holmes? Look at this photograph. This is something I took myself. Cause of death was fracture to the cervical spine. His death was most likely instant. And the cause of all that was a kitten that unfortunately caused his feet and tripped him. However, if that was indeed the case, and I'd like you to take a look at this photo. To my feel, there is an unnatural element present in it. What do you mean unnatural? Master Naruhodo, what is your opinion on the matter? Sir? Sugi's life ended unfortunately due to an accidental fall. Supposedly an unnatural element lies within this photo. What unnatural element? Oh, hold on! Oh no, it's not his headband. His headband is here. His finger. Yeah, his hand. I think it's his hand. I think the unnatural area must be this area right here. Master Naruhodo, a word of advice. When you move to point out something crucial, it's better your eyes first. And well, they were open. In that case, try to not have them darting around aimlessly so much. Oops, that's wrong. Sorry, they were just a little unfocused. Pointer. Where to look for something unnatural? Surely it must be those Russian letters at the end of Kazuma's fingertip. That is nothing but the culprit's fabrication. There is something else you ought to look. Try to imagine the scene. The victim suddenly tripped and fell over. In that state, think about how his hands would have been positioned. Must be quite easy to imagine, yes. dripping. Yeah, his hands would be in a palm. Not rude. Because of this. Okay, I have no clue. Is it the hand? Is it the... It's the hands. He hinted me that with the hands. Let's point the hand. This hand. If he had fallen forward as a result of an unfortunate accident, and his fist feels jarringly out of place. I thought exactly. Usually, if one were to fall, their hands would naturally be open, as I said. Despite that, the victim's left hand was clasped firmly in a fist. Yes, almost as if he was holding something inside that fist. Yeah, she realized. It's her earring. For sure. What? And so you see, I went ahead and investigated the contents of the victim's fist earlier. Huh? Now, what do you suppose came out, ladies and gentlemen? Let us see. Please, let us see! Yes, of course, I'll let you see all you wish. It was this right here. This be a crescent moon adorned with a diamond? Indeed, it does seem like the world's most beautiful crescent moon. What of it? I wonder what this could mean. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. That's the definition of observation, Master Naruto. Huh? The truth would soon be clear to all. The crescent moon in his grasp must have come from somewhere. Now, Master Naruto, it's finally time for the last clue. Just what in the world is this crescent moon revealed to us? Observe with your own two eyes. Yeah, this is easy. I've seen it before. Let's examine. Dainty ears resembling pink seashells are beaming out of her beautiful hair. There seems to be something hanging down from her ear. It needs to be an earring! Oh my, it looks like a crescent moon! Oh, there's no doubt about it. And this... Shatter! Nikomina? I can see a crescent moon hanging from your ear. Huh? What? Your other ear? It is lacking that same crescent moon. It looks like the delicate decoration was broken off. And furthermore, the crescent moon was discovered in the victim's hand. The truth that I gather from these facts can lead to only one conclusion. Would you agree, Master Naruto? Yes. Nikomina, Sugi had ripped this crescent moon from your ear. It is very likely that happened just before he fell onto the ground. So in other words, last night, in the instant Asugi had fallen over, you were standing right in front of him. You must know what I mean. The earring was reaching distance of his extended hand. Then why? Why had Asugi done something like that? He plucked the earring off your ear, and even though he was dead, he kept clinging onto it. Oh! Princess! This time you'll have to face the music. Nobody can protect you. Please answer me, Nikomina. Last night, just what did you do to Asugi? Thinking thinking now, too many things happened yesterday. Run from Shanghai, rode boat looking for big steamship at night. And then, after such a wild day, I sit and rest in my cabin. No, wait! No, wait! When Kitty ran into air duct, I turned pale. I whistle and call for Kitty. I try to bring it back with toys. Kitty just would not come back. What are you doing at such a late hour, detective? Ah, do pardon my manners, my lady. I was certain that an acquaintance of mine had come for a visit. A young exchange student was polite, understanding too. He helped look for Blackie and promised to keep it secret. As I grabbed Blackie and tried to leave cabin. Excuse me, my lady. Please wait a moment. What? I can't but feel as if I've seen your face somewhere before. Huh? Right, you are the Russian ballerina. Miss Bolshevich. Am I mistaken? What? No, I'm not knowing that person. My heart freezed in terror. I know this was a dangerous discovery. Why did a young student recognize Russian ballerina? I was struck by the beauty of that public ballet performance I had seen in Japan. However, tell me, why might you be on this ship? As I recall, shouldn't you be heading to Shanghai right now? I know that I could not trick him. I had to make friends with him so he would stay quiet. No other option. I see. You've defected. Please do not tell anyone about Nico. If that's the case, please wait for a moment. There's someone who I wish to discuss this with. He's going to ring the bell. Tell ship's captain. Exchange student not sympathetic after all. That one instant felt so long. But all this happened at once. Wait! I could not help but yell at him. Kitty jumped out of my arms and ran to exchange student's feet. And then, when he turned to look back, ow, 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 I pushed him away hard as I could. Oh, that hurts. After that, I am remembering nothing. Why push him? Still not sure. I just wanted to stop him. Wanted to stop him from telling anyone. And that's the entire truth, finally. That's sad. And it was then that you decided to call for help. Specifically help from Mr. Stroganoff, the man guarding the hallway. I heard a scream and loud noise, so I rushed to scene. In front of cabin, Princess was shaking. She said, "Mitrov, help! If I'm caught, there is no place left to run." And so you tampered with the crime scene in Asugi's cabin. How did I felt any suspicion from the passenger in the cabin next door? Yes, he's correct. I checked both corpse and whole cabin to be sure. Then I found him. Stowaway was sleeping like a baby inside wardrobe. That would be me. At that point you must have schemed. You have the entire crime pinned on that stowaway. Is that correct? A closed wardrobe and stuck strange seal back on door. Thanks to that, it became Susato's chance to unload her doubts on me. Remove corpse and wrote words using ink spilled on floor. Wardrobe. Culprit hiding inside wardrobe. On a related note, which one of you cleaned up the broken glass? I did it. I picked up glass shards. Oh, did you? The room was so dark, only found half. And after this, I returned Princess to cabin and add final touches. And so you push the alarm button along the corridor. That is correct. Thus, the SSL Claire restored. The SSL Claire resorted to an emergency stop, close to 2 hours past midnight. The door latched shut, thereby completing the creation of our locked room. Okay, I need to rest a bit. Think. Excuse me, Nikomina, could I have a word with you? Yes? Last night, when you explained your defection to Asugi, it looked as if he was going to notify the captain. Therefore, you pushed him. You said that yourself, right? Yes, right. But hypothetically speaking, even if he rang the bell to call the captain, every single sailor on the ship is an ally of yours, right? What reason would you have to worry? First thing that exchange student has said to me struck me with fear. First thing he said? What are you doing at such a late hour, detective? Ah, do pardon my manners, my lady. You said that an acquaintance of mine had come for a visit. Detective, acquaintance. Oh, that means Sir Sugi was referring to me, responsible as his bodyguard. If he tells this detective, I know that I would be arrested. So before he could ring bell, before you continue, Nikomina, I cannot help but be bothered by something. Are you sure that Kazuma really planned to ring the bell? Huh? Naruto, what are your thoughts? I'm not him, so I can't say for certain, but at the very least I do know one thing. Sugi isn't the kind of person to go for extra brawn out of nowhere. But he really walked towards bell. He wanted to ring it, to deport me to Russia. Well, Master Naruto, it appears we are in need of one last reasoning session. Reasoning, you say? What did the victim actually try to do in that moment? Oh, okay, this is easy. Come on. Just what could have fled before his eyes? How about we take a look for ourselves? Now, I trust you remember where the victim was located in the cabin, yes? Yes, I can clearly recall anything about that cabin. Even if I was crammed within that wardrobe. I spent practically my entire voyage in that cabin. And this must be what Kazuma saw last night. Yes, there is no doubt about it. I trust you are ready then, Master Naruto. Yes, today I learned something important. With one's line of sight, there exists the truth that you may not even realize. And in order to bring that truth to light, you can overlook that lies within that line of sight, no matter how slight. Sugi turned his back into Nikomina. This is what lay in his line of sight. Come on, this is easy. Shatter! Considering the circumstances last night, it's true that it would have appeared as if Asuka was about to ring the call bell. Indubitably. However, beside the call bell was a wardrobe. Wardrobe. And within that wardrobe was his friend, sleeping ever so soundly. Yeah, please remember, the victim, Kazuma, what did he say at that moment? If that's the case, please wait for a moment. There is someone who I wish to discuss this with. Discuss? I had no intention of calling the crew. I simply wanted to wake up his good friend and discuss how they could help you. Is there anything we can do? Probably something like that. No! Of course, as it stands now, it is impossible to know the full truth. As for what led within Kazuma's line of sight, you should have made sure of what that was. Nikomina, thank you for telling us the truth in the end. However, the fact that you took away his life will never disappear. Please, don't ever forget that. I am sorry. Truly, very sorry. Thus, the curtain is lowered quietly on the incident involving the SS Eau Claire. Night of January 7:14 PM, SS Eau Claire, first class cabins. So what will happen to Nikomina? She is to be turned over to the British Empire Scotland Yard. She be granted asylum, and Russia demand that she be handed over to them? A great British detective plans to negotiate with the immigration office on that matter. Mr. Holmes? Then will she never be able to return to Russia? I would assume so. Even if she wishes to in the future, she will not be able to return to her homeland. It is what means to defect. I see. I'm very sorry. Stroganov? Only wanted to help the princess. She lose best friend. I did not think of your feelings. Princess and I will turn ourselves over to Scotland Yard. I see. In any case, thank you for returning my freedom. No matter how much I mourn Asugi, the pain will never go away. Good luck with Nikomina. Thank you. Now then, it would be best to prepare for disembarkment soon. The ship will arrive in Hong Kong tomorrow. I'm deeply sorry, but on top of turning you over to the consul, you will be repatriated to your home country. I understand. It was a stowaway after all. That wasn't going to be overlooked. With that said, shall we return to the cabin? My exchange program to Britain, too, has ended before it even begun. The two of us laughed so much as we made plans to wreak havoc in London. Now it just feels like a far-off memory. someone sewing. Susato. Oh my! How long have you been there? I just got here. Detective Hosonaga just told me to start preparing to disembark the ship. Still finding this whole matter quite unbelievable. To think someone's life could end so quickly, so prematurely. Susato. Kazuma set out on this grand journey whilst holding out onto a grand dream. And then someone showed up and heartlessly cut that dream apart into pieces. We will never let them get away with this. At least that was what I thought. Instead, the truth of the matter was just an unfortunate collection of consecutive little accidents. It's too much. Just much too fleeting. It really is. I'm afraid I cannot offer any words of apology for that matter. Detective, my duty was to ensure that Asugi made his voyage to the British Empire safely. Not only was I unable to accomplish that, but I also made his friends suffer. I, Hosonaga, will do anything you ask as a means of apology. Detective Hosonaga, I don't want to pin the blame on you. As you can see, I'm finally free at last. What? Huh? No. Come on, how? 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 Where's the chat? Is the chat dead? I think the chat is dead. I'm alone. Well then, it's fine. I'm surprised with that, Master Naruto. Oh, hello Joe. Yeah, I felt that, I didn't feel the lag. Did I surprise you there, Master Naruto? What? What on earth are you doing? It's nothing really. It's just that, you see, those handcuffs have been fully burned into my memory. If they were to go away, it would tip the balance. I'd find it difficult to look at you again. Huh? As commemoration, I'll leave them hanging from your wrists. You are a stowaway after all. Just how mean can he be? Mr. Holmes, I would like to thank you for everything you have done on this voyage. Please accept my humble gratitude from the bottom of my heart. No, I feel the same way. I apologize for my late manners. What happened to your friend was truly a pity. I express my sincerest condolences. I pray that you study enough in Britain for this for his part as well. Unfortunately, that will not be happening. We will be disembarking at the next port, Hong Kong. We will then report to the council on site and make our way back to Japan. Wait, please! Isn't it supposed to be me, the stowaway, who was supposed to go back? There is an agreement between both countries over who the exchange students should be. Together, one attorney and one legal assistant. Together? Now that the lawyer Asugi has passed away, the exchange program has to be suspended. There is no other choice. You didn't say the names of the legal assistant and attorney. Doesn't matter what happens to me. Susato shouldn't be involved. Come now, the solution is simple. In other words, as long as there is another attorney, your journey can continue. Huh? There isn't anyone else who can fulfill the qualifications of the attorney. Qualifications? Don't make me laugh. The country's qualifications hold no weight whatsoever in the British Empire anyways. Then, come what may, there is still 1 month left until the ship reaches London. During that time, I do not think it will be impossible to find a substitute attorney. I see. Hey, Susato? Yes, what is it? Will I possibly fill that role? What? But you're not an attorney! Or could you possibly be a law student? No, not exactly. If that is the case, then that possibility is no more than a dead end. It's the same as Phoenix Wright, you know. Phoenix Wright was going to be an art student. However, something has happened that let him become an attorney, which is Edgeworth defending him during his childhood. Okay, now that's out of the way, let's continue. However, there is still 1 month left before we reach London. Isn't that right, Master Naruhodo? I study everything that I need to become an attorney throughout that entire month. Naruhodo! Ridiculous! Just what can you do in only 40 days? I won't know until I try. 40 days. I'll study as if my life depends on it. So please, just give me a chance. If you can't acknowledge me as an attorney by the time we reach London, I'll accept whatever punishment there is. Why would you do something so reckless? Sugi once told me there was something he absolutely had to do in the British Empire. To that end, he would be willing to make whatever sacrifices were necessary. Huh? I don't want his wish to die in a place like this. And, of course, I'm doing this for myself as well. I will become an attorney. I swear it. What do you think, Susato? I think it's a wonderful idea. Susato? Huh, your thoughts. Alright, detective? On what? 1 attorney and 1 legal assistant. Numbers are a proper match, no? No, that's just plain codswallop. I think it's just fine. It seems like it'd be fun. Fun? It's more potentially fun than, for example, duty on rules. That's all there is to it. Anyone thinking that's all there is to it is you? And furthermore, it's crucial isn't someone's qualifications, but rather their character, wouldn't you say? Even you have seen it with your own eyes. Today, from the moment he woke up to even this very instant, faced with the pain of his friend's death, along with his being suspected as the murderer, he witnessed the accomplishments he made whilst carrying the weight of that burden. I understand. I'll make sure our country's government understands the situation. Detective Osonaka, come to think of it, I did promise you this just earlier. Promise that we would do anything you ask as a means of an apology. so much, Detective Osinaga. Now then, I must make my way to the captain's quarters. I must report to our country about this matter and discuss our next course of actions. You truly intend to begin studying law from here on? Yes, and if it's okay with you, could you possibly teach me everything about being an attorney? Of course! I'd be happy to lend a hand. I'm a legal assistant after all. Thank you so much! Now, following that, Naruhodo? If it would please you, I would like you to accept this. What? Are you sure I should have this? I'm sure Kazuma would wish for this as well. It is a famed blade that has been passed down through the Asuki family for generations. I'm told its name is Karma. Wait, really? Really? The name of the blade is Karma. Okay, I'll gladly accept this. So once again, I look forward to working with you, Susato. I'll be looking forward with you as well, Naruhodo. I will not allow you even a single moment rest throughout the next 40 days. Oh, it just surprised me because it's the last name of someone we know all very well. I shall follow through with you throughout it. Of course, I wouldn't have it any other way. Truth is, I have one more request to ask of you. Huh? Oh yes, what might that be? Please, toss me 3 times. Really? Huh? During the investigation, it was always clear that you would never do anything to hurt your dear friend Kazuma. It is undeniable, and I knew that from the very beginning. Despite that, however, I came to suspect you. No matter how shaken up I may have been, it was an awful thing to do. No, it was completely understandable in that situation. The room was locked from the inside, and I was the only... No, I don't want to hear any excuses! The reason does not matter. Losing you at all was terrible, and not just once, but 5 times. Pretty sure she didn't do it that much. So come on, do it! Toss me right over with no hesitation. No, I've never even tossed anyone before in the first place. Yes, well, it is indeed not something that just anyone can do. Ah, Mr. Holmes! I've seen it countless times already, but I still can't get enough of that wonderful toss. And just where was he watching that from? Suppose that would be an example of your so-called Japanese martial arts. Yes, it is a technique passed down from long ago, but with my own unique style. It's plenty called the Susato toss. If you ever get tossed, you'll be seeing stars. That is quite intriguing. See, I happen to be quite a skilled boxer. Why is he dancing now? If you would be so kind, would you teach me that wonderful toss of yours? It would be my honor. Would you try tossing something now then? It would be a good place to start my studies. I would be glad to. Now then, Naruhodo, do excuse me. Goodbye. Down. And that is how it's done. The whole toss has to come from your gut. Amazing, so this is the legendary technique. the Susato toss. No, this would be the deadly Susato drop. And within my fading consciousness, the scene from that night is flashed in my head for an instant. What the? Karma? Yes, this is the great katana passed down through the Asugi family for generations. I'm still surprised that the government was okay with it. Bringing a Japanese sword into the British Empire on an exchange program is a little... Katana lies at the heart of our culture. I can't allow this to leave my side. No matter what, it will always be here, guiding me forward. That's what I believe. One great strike to end all evil. That kind of attitude really suits you. Yeah, that sounds about right. There is something I absolutely have to do, no matter what. To that end, I will make whatever sacrifices are necessary. And I would be grateful if you would see that through with me. Of course, I swear it! I'll see this through with you to the very end. I knew you would say that. What Asugi said that moment about what he had to do, I still don't fully understand what that call might be. I'll seek it out with my own eyes. In the British Empire's capital, London. The end. That was a very sad case. Next is the adventure of the runaway room. Let's save this. And let's return to the title screen and call the stream off. Thank you so much for watching. I hope we will continue on the next episode of The Great Ace Attorney. Until then, I will see you later. And by later I mean hopefully tomorrow. See ya!